trust the Taliban, sir?
Is that a serious question?
It's absolutely a serious question.
It's a silly question. Do I trust the Taliban? No. But I trust the capacity of the Afghan military, who is better trained, better equipped, and more competent in terms of conducting war.
That's President Joe Biden defending his strategy for withdrawing troops from Afghanistan August 31st. This as the Taliban continues their attacks, making their advancements. For more on this, we'll bring in Fred Fleitz. He's a former chief of staff of the National Security Council and a former CIA analyst. Fred, good to see you, and thanks so much for coming on. This comes on the news just recently here. Reuters reporting that the Taliban is telling Russia that they control 85% of the territory now in Afghanistan. But what's more, saying that they will not use that country as a platform to attack others. But again, the distrust for the Taliban, you take it or leave it. What do you believe the Taliban? Obviously, the president saying he doesn't trust the Taliban. What is next for the country?
Hey, Sean, it's good to be here. Let me say right out, I don't trust the Taliban. This was never going to be a great outcome, but the American people were done with Afghanistan. We've been there too long. Intelligence estimates said earlier this year it would take about 2 years for the Taliban to take over the country. That was the likely outcome. But this has been done so badly, with so little notice or consultation with the Afghan government, with the Afghan military, that we have shortened that timeline, according to intelligence estimates, to 6 months. We've really abandoned the Afghan government, the Afghan military, and we're increasing the chances it will quickly become a terrorist safe haven, not just for the Taliban, but for ISIS and for al-Qaeda.
You know, that's an interesting point, and I want to bring up a conversation. I don't think that happens often. Obviously, bringing troops home, everyone's for that. We want to see these men and women come home. But we do have to look at the outcomes when you make those decisions. One of them has been raised by folks that are experts in this area, and you may be familiar with this as well. When you do that, you're giving up the strategic stronghold that you've had there as far as a military organization goes. Obviously, you'll see the Afghan government fall, as we are already seeing. The biggest jewel of that is going to be Kabul. And then when the Taliban takes over, it's important to understand, you know, who they are as far as human rights and in oppressing women. In so many different rules. You're not allowed to be a Christian there. You can't use cell phones. You can't have access to the internet. There are major consequences to when we pull out. Whether you agree if it's America's responsibility on that is another hand, but it does need to be acknowledged of the outcomes.
No, you're exactly right. But I think the American people were behind President Trump when he said that we're just going to be there forever. There's no exit strategy. Yeah. We don't want our troops there forever. It is enormously expensive. We have issues to deal with at home. But Sean, there were other options. There are military contractors who wanted to go into Afghanistan to help the government. The Biden administration didn't want to do that. We could have worked with the Afghan army up until the point we withdrew, and withdrew by September 11th, which was the actual deadline. But Biden didn't want to do that. He just wants to have the issue. He wants to say he withdrew. And I mean, we know there are going to be bad consequences, but I think they're going to be considerably worse based on the inept way Biden is doing this.
What did you make of the press conference? I'm just curious. Did you watch that by the president? He did field a few questions, and a lot of critics of him are pointing to this as being just a political move. There was this postmark that it was Trump obviously wanted to withdraw the troops May 1st. Then that goalpost got pushed to 9/11. Now it's down to August 31st. How do you read that?
Well, I thought Biden bumbled through that press conference, and the answer, as I said earlier, is clearly we don't trust the Taliban. But I think that the Biden administration sort of ignored how to withdraw from Afghanistan, and then they just decided to do it abruptly. The Trump administration had a plan on how to do this. It was still going to be ugly. The Taliban was still going to make gains. But I just think this administration is asleep at the wheel. All it wants is photo ops.
Yeah. Last question for you. The president said this, that we had a job to do in Afghanistan. I'm going to play you what he said from the press conference you're talking about, and then I'll get your reaction.
We went for two reasons. One, to bring Osama bin Laden to the gates of hell, as I said at the time. The second reason was to eliminate al-Qaeda's capacity to deal with more attacks in the United States from that territory. We accomplished both of those objectives, period.
Fred, did the U.S. accomplish its goals?
Well, see, we had another objective, and that's nation building. And that's something we shouldn't have been involved in. We did accomplish the first two goals, although the Taliban is going to come back. But, you know, we've made this mistake repeatedly. We made it in Iraq, we made it in Afghanistan, and we started a mission we could not succeed at. And that led to this impossible decision where we are withdrawing now, and our enemies are going to make significant gains. So I think there are many administrations, Republican, Democratic, who are responsible for this disaster.
Well, we'll leave it right there. Fred, it's always a pleasure to get your thoughts, especially on matters such as these. That is Fred Fleitz joining us on this Friday. I appreciate that.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.